Prologue. Chaining Day. In the basement of Twin City Theater, the air was thick with cigar smoke and whiskey. It was the kind of smell that would stick to a man's suit long after he left. Marcus adjusted his tie. It was too tight against his throat. He hated wearing suits, but tonight appearances mattered. Old 1970s rugs covered the cold concrete floor. The basement was dimly lit by the cigarette yellow lamps and the flickering of the fireplace. Marcus stood in the back of the room, leaning against the cold block wall next to his fellow soldiers. At the center of the room, Dominic knelt on one knee, his hands steady and his eyes fixed on the black flag above him. It was his chaining day. Marcus had knelt in the same spot once, offering up a piece of his past and bleeding for his future. Now, he watched Dominic, a young man, barely out of boyhood, do the same. He was young, but his eyes showed no innocence. Marcus wondered if the kid understood what this all really meant. Everyone wanted to be made, to wear the black diamond flag around their neck, to be part of something bigger than themselves. But the true weight of the chain was heavier than it looked. Luther Kane, the boss of the Black Flag family, was seated at the center of the room in an old, oversized theater chair, like a king on his throne. To his right sat Vic, the underboss, and a captain. To his left, the other two captains, all focused on Dominic. Their presence was both welcoming and menacing. Vic leaned forward and broke the room's silence. "Did you bring your item?" Dominic nodded and reached into his bag and pulled out a worn baseball mitt and placed it on the white towel Vic had laid before him. Dominic looked up at Vic. "You are becoming a member of the family. If called upon, would you kill for this family?" Dominic didn't hesitate. "Yes." "And if it came down to it, would you give your life for this family?" Dominic nodded. "Yes." "And do you vow undeniable loyalty to the family? We come first before anything else in your life." "I do." Vic took Dominic's hand, pricking the finger with a needle. A drop of blood swelled and then fell onto the old mitt. Marcus rubbed his finger across his thumbnail. He had done the same once, watching his own blood seep onto his gold member bus pass. His mother had gotten him that for his birthday one year. The gold card allowed you to ride the bus for free for a whole year. Marcus would go to the mall or City Park. Some of his best memories were on that bus. Even though that pass had expired for nearly a decade, Marcus always carried it with him. It reminded him of the good times, but also a time he still had a mother. But that was the old him, the poor Marcus, and he had to let that go to become a made man. Marcus watched with his arms crossed. He knew this wasn't just a ceremony. It was a funeral for the boy Dominic used to be. His gaze lingered on the mitt. He pictured a younger Dominic tossing the ball in the yard, dreaming of the major leagues. "One day I'll play for the big leagues, Dad." Marcus could almost hear it. The thought made him grin for a moment. But just as quickly, it faded. That boy is gone now. Whatever dreams he had died in this room. Vic wrapped the towel into a ball and tossed it into the fire. "Repeat after me," said Vic. "I kneel before the black flag, shedding my past in fire and smoke." Dominic repeated. "My word is my bond, my loyalty unshaken. I take no deals, speak no names, and hold my silence." Again, Dominic repeated. "In life and death, this chain binds me to my brothers, and I will wear it until the grave." As Dominic repeated the final words, Luther stood from his throne. Vic returned to his seat. "Rise," Luther said in his deep voice. Dominic stood. Luther placed the gold Cuban-linked chain with the black diamond pendant around his neck. "Welcome to the family," Luther said, a rare smile on his face. Dominic grinned too. The room erupted in applause. Even Marcus clapped. But as the cheers filled the theater's basement, Marcus studied Dominic's face. He saw the pride, the hunger, the blind excitement, and he wondered, when the applauses faded, would Dominic still be smiling?